All right, so I'm back. I've been away for a couple weeks, and I have been basically all over British Columbia again. You know, I was away in the Tashashini there 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, on that backpack sheep hunt, and then I was recently away north of a place called Chowan, running around in a very popular semi-remote hunting area for multiple species with multiple friends, and it was a rough but good time. So anyways, I'm going to get caught up here pretty quick. This is an insanely busy time of year for the outdoors for everybody. It's pretty crazy, especially with everything that I've got on the go and all the people that are involved with me creating all sorts of new exciting things that are meant to help people on the planet. And but in the meantime, I'm definitely going to have a whole pile more interesting videos and stories coming to share with everybody from myself and from some other people. I'm going to start including other people who I feel are interesting or potentially interesting that I haven't even met yet. And I'm going to set up the camera. We're going to go to natural backdrop like this one here. No, it's not a green screen. You can recognize this backdrop from last spring. I made a video from here. And I think that as well keeps it interesting for all you people that are probably spread all around the planet in cities and stuff and never get a chance to see things like this behind me. But anyway, one person who I just contacted this afternoon is a local person who I've heard about from numerous people who, what do you call it? I have mutual friends of this guy. Now I don't know how old he is. He's probably in his late 40s from I'm gathering, or plus, and he's a renowned trail builder. And he's been building trails around the Squamish Whistler area for many, many years. And apparently this guy's had numerous encounters with these Sasquatch beings over the years. And if I recall right, I think he may even have a photograph of one that he took by accident. If it isn't him, it's another person. I've seen the photo, and it's actually, you can see the reflection of this thing's face in the river. There's a river, and it's in the big, deep timber on the coast. You can tell by the ferns and all the shallal and everything. And this thing was peeking up over a log at this guy, and they got a picture of it. And you can see his face in the timber, and you can see the reflection of that face in the river as well. And if it is him, I'll definitely get him to share that photo and I'll post it up here. But I contacted him today and I asked him if he would mind getting together with me. And take note, I've never met this guy and I've never spoke to him. And I made it a point of not speaking with him today on the phone because I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him about anything and then have to hit record on the camera when I got him sitting here with me and pretend that we're talking about that topic again. I think that'd be awkward and potentially phony, and I'm not into that shit. So I want to keep it smooth and real as possible. Well, smooth and real. that's what this channel's about. And I'm going to get him to just have a good old bullshit session with me, see what he knows, what he's seen, and I'll share with him what I know, what I've seen, and we're going to have a good conversation. And I think that'll be very interesting. He has some mutual friends of mine who are very, very stand-up, solid people. So I have a feeling this guy's going to be a good character, worthy of spending some time with. And then I might contact possibly, many of you people are familiar with the Sasquatch being topic. You're probably familiar with that Rene de Hinden, the old Swede from British Columbia, originally from Sweden, or Denmark, wherever he's from. And his son actually lives very close to me. I think he's only about a block distance away or two. Now I've spoke with him over the years a couple times in passing at the grocery store and stuff. And I think I might get a hold of him and see if he may possibly want to sit down and have a bullshit session with me on film here to share with everybody. But I'm not certain of his relationship with his father. I've heard rumors that his father basically dumped the family to go pursue researching or pursuing Sasquatch. So I don't know if that'll be feasible or not, but I'm going to find out because I think he would be an interesting person for us to listen to. I'm going to do that as well. And then moving on to the hunting and angling topics, which are obviously a big part of this. I've got some big adventure stories I'm going to share. Obviously I've got a lot more bear stories. Why keep pumping out bear story after bear story after bear story just because there's a handful of people that get off on and want to hear them all the time? It's better, I think, to mix it up on this channel because I think there's numerous topics that are interesting to numerous people out there. And let's face it, this no bullshit channel is getting quite popular around the planet, so we can't just cater to you bear story lovers or the Sasquatch story lovers. We're going to mix it up and keep it all about the outdoors and keep it honest and bullshit free. And that's what I'm going to do. And What else? I'm going to tell a story shortly. I think if I haven't got a message across to all you clearly yet, one of the strong messages I try to get across to all of you is to, number one, not take shit from anybody, ever, okay? If you ever have a bully or somebody discrediting or attacking you in any way, I strongly urge you to fight back and not take it. You know, I think today's generation, we're seeing the results of not disciplining your children, and I think we're seeing the results of look the other way and go away and just ignore them and go away. And I'm a firm believer that that does not work. I'm a firm believer in fighting back. So I need to explain that before I explain to you what I'm about to share with all you guys. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit who you are, what you got, or how many people follow you, or how popular you are, or what position you might have in a political arena, or whatever. I do not give a shit. You're either a good person or a bad person, and if you're a douchebag, and you, how do you say this? If you're a douchebag and you potentially bullshit, try to discredit, bully, overpower, take advantage, or take from anyone, you deserve to be called out, and called out publicly if it's the public venue that you are doing this. I hope I'm making sense, and it will shortly, because this one particular character is probably one of the most well-known names in the hunting industry in the world. And I had the misfortune of being hired by this idiot and spending some time on the Yukon. And the nasty shit that I watched go on behind the cameras enough to make me puke. And I obviously eventually quit and could not take any much more of it and left. And whatever, carry on. And I made some lifelong friends there during that experience. But unfortunately, this moron took a blatant shot at me online, which was potentially discrediting my character, was an absolute lie, and unprovoked and absolutely amazing to me. It's like, especially when I have all the honest dirt on this idiot. And I'm going to make an example of this story. It's my story. I'm going to share a story with you guys. I'm going to tell it honestly. And I think more the reason I'm going to share this story is just to make an example to all of you, is no matter who it is or who the name is, if a person's a douchebag, they're a douchebag. And if they bullshit, attack you, or belittle you, or try to discredit you in any way, you fight back. Because they're just another human being when it comes down to it. They're a human, I'm a human, you're a human. We're all dying slowly right now, and we're all leaving with nothing. And I don't give a shit who you are. If you're a douche, I'm going to call you out. And if you take a shot at me publicly, unprovoked, you go throw some shit at me, well, I'm going to throw knuckle sandwiches back at you. That's just the way I roll, and that's just the way it is. And that's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be a very interesting story for you people who are familiar with this character, and I'm going to do it. Why? Well, because I got provoked. That's why. It's going to be pretty entertaining. So I got that story coming up. A bit of a rant there. Whatever. And what else do I got? You know, it's that time of year, everybody's in the woods. And a lot of people are in the woods hunting around North America, and the photographs of Sasquatch prints and encounters are flooding into me nonstop, unfortunately for many of those people. And I'll probably add a couple photographs in here as I'm mentioning it of what have been forwarded to me. Typical, more footprints getting found in the mud and shit and in the dirt. It is what it is. It's been done 1,000 times. And I'll share some of that, and I'll share some more stories. And I'm getting absolutely hammered on and flooded with numerous more Sasquatch encounter stories from people, good, hard-working, honest people. And again, as usual, I'm going to be the voice for those people, and I'm going to share the stories for them and share them with you guys as I get more time to do it. I'm here for a little while now, so I definitely have time to get caught up and share all this stuff, and I'm going to do it and do it continuously. And on that note, I do have one story I'm going to share with you, and possibly a video if I can get off my phone here. I've got a new phone, it's confusing my life, but I'll figure it out. But here's an interesting story. So this past couple weeks, I was in remote north central British Columbia. It's actually not overly remote. You can use a quad to hunt. And we typically would leave camp. I'd get up at 3:45 in the morning, leave camp by 4, and drive for an average half an hour, 45 minutes, and then jump in a quad, and then take these little remote quad trails through the timber, through the darkness, through the jungle, and take a quad ride for about half an hour, and then I would walk another kilometer or two in the dark to get to this particular spot where I was after this particular big bull elk. And listen to this one. So a couple nights before this one particular morning, I was quadding back up by myself, and I don't know why, I just started losing my nerve. Like I was getting chills up my arms, goosebumps, and I must have frickin' looked behind myself, going through this dark tunnel in the timber with the headlights and the quad on, looking kind of creepy. And I must have looked behind myself about frickin' 40 times. I was driving myself insane. And, you know, obviously you can tell by my past history and where I go continuously. I mean, I'm not, after seeing one of these things, it is a challenge. It can be challenging at times, and you just got to fight your way through it. And sorry about the background noise if you can hear it, but there's a logging outfit blasting road and working on road on the other side of the valley, and it's really echoing up here pretty good. But anyway, so I was kind of losing my nerve in a little bit. I was letting myself get creeped out, which is very uncomfortable, especially when you're on a quad, because you have to have your back to the trail and you're making all that noise and you can't tell if something's behind you, and you're obviously, you know, 99.9999% of the time there'll never be anything behind you. But I was kind of feeling creeped as shit, and a little relieved when I got out of the truck. And then 2 mornings later, we went to the same place, and a friend of mine came with me. Now picture this. So it's pitch black. Well, no, it's not pitch black. It's pretty gloomy. And we quadded all the way in, and you can see the trail. You just see the trail ahead of you going down like this, and timber on the left, timber on the right, and a little bit of a dip, and a little bit of sky up there. So it's just getting gloomy. You can just start seeing things as I'm walking along this trail. And I'm looking ahead of me, and I can see this black blob. There's a black thing on the side of the road, but it looked kind of low. And it was about, I'll bet it was 70 yards from me. And I know I never noticed that blob before, so I'm keeping my eye on it as I'm walking towards it. All of a sudden, the damn thing gets bigger and goes across the trail in front of me. And then when it went across, its head and shoulders got kind of skylined in that the enlightening skyline from the sun, you know, slowly coming up. And then it disappeared on the left side of the trail, went in the forest, and we could hear it crashing. A couple of big crashes and a crash farther on. And I looked back at my buddy and go, "Did you see that?" And he didn't see it. And I'm like, my first initial thought was, holy shit, that's a dude. There's a frickin' dude ahead of us. He looked exactly like a guy, got up and went across the road. It just looked like head and shoulders big and black. And I'm like, oh shit, I do not need this shit. Like, I just don't need this shit. I'm not into this shit. And I'm almost getting angry because I have to go past there. I have to go. I've been working very, very hard at this one big block, and I gotta go by him. I gotta get that back corner. And then we got up there level with it, and then you can almost hear this weird echoing down the timber. It sounded like about 100 yards away. I'm like, I look at my buddy, okay, what was that? You know? But I didn't have goosebumps, and I wasn't freaked out. So it wasn't really making sense to be meshed up with a potential encounter with one of these damn beings, right? So I'm hoping it's something else. But it looked big and black, and it rose up, and it looked like it shuffled across the road. And obviously I'm trying to shake that thought, and then we carried on, hunted for morning. But when we came back, and I got this one, we came back, and sure enough, it was frickin' bull moose tracks were in the mud. And it was a frickin' moose. Thankfully, because I just don't need that shit anymore. I'm not into it. But anyway, so this is what happened. So I guess that moose was laying down on the side of the trail, watching us probably with shoulder, and we started coming up, and then it got up, but it walked away, almost directly away on a slight angle. So that would have made his big black butt and the hump on his shoulder made, in the gloomy light, it made for a perfect silhouette of a big black dude with a head on his shoulders going across the road. It was the perfect setup to make you think it was something weird. So there you go. That was kind of, it's just a little bit of a fun story to share with you guys, and obviously just, you know, I mean, if I was one of those people who are just dying for a Sasquatch sighting, I could have not revealed it was a moose and went with it and pretended that I had a Sasquatch sighting, you know, because it sure looked exactly like something that fits the description. But so anyways, I just thought I'd share that. And then coincidentally, not in the same area, but about 25 miles off to the east, I was alone again, got up in the dark. Got in there in the dark, I'm standing on this road, and then I had a big bull moose come out on the road right in front of me, and it was really gloomy light. Had a Mexican standoff at about 20 yards for a while, and then he walked off, and then it got light out. And as I was talking to my phone, telling the story of what just happened, it was, I don't know what, I'll try to replay it on here right now and listen to this. And I don't know. Was it just by fluke a big tree fell over by itself? Probably. But it's just kind of funny as you are in the woods and you do hear shit like this, or you see things like that, because here it was right here, and I caught it on video. Last day for this trip. Got into my spot here and let out a bugle to see if maybe there's a bull around that might give it up, and thought I heard something in the bushes, so I let out a moose grunt, and a big mature bull stepped out about 30 yards, and it was too dark to count points, and his horns were dark, his antlers were dark chocolate, and we stood. That's different. Anyway, it's a moose hunt. No, I couldn't count points, and he took off. We stood. And that's kind of interesting. Make of it what you are. Make of it what you do. It was just a noise. It's probably a tree falling over, but it was a big tree, and it was a sudden, loud noise out of the deep timber right beside me when you're in the middle of nowhere by yourself, and it definitely catches your attention, as you can tell as I whipped my head over at the first note of this sound. And then another coincidence, another friend of mine who lives nearby, and he has seen a Sasquatch in the past and heard them, and is not into looking for them intentionally. And he's out hunting. I think he's in the Squamish Valley near a place called Cloudburst. And Cloudburst is not too far from the Tricooney Peak. You can look that up on YouTube, where those guys filmed that Sasquatch potentially down in the Snowy Basin. This is right near there. And he texted me some sounds he recorded with his iPhone. Now listen to this shit. And he said it was down in the timber below him. And obviously he didn't go running down there to see what it was, but he texted to me and asked me if I knew what the sound was. I'm like, I don't know. I have a freaking clue what the hell that was, you know? And if I was there, I think I would probably go down there and see what it was, but it sounds like a fairly intimidating noise. So you guys can have a listen here, and I don't know, who knows? None of us were there. You weren't there. I wasn't there. There isn't one of us that'll be able to dictate what the hell this was, but the guy's a straight up guy, as honest comes, and he recorded it with his frickin' iPhone. So I'd imagine that would have been a little bit odd to hear this sound going off in the timber on this eerie, spooky place, but listen to this shit. So anyways, there you go. Just another one of those odd things that you hear or see in the woods and you can't explain it, but there's a handful right there that's been coming in as of late. And I guess that's about it. I don't really have much time right now to share much. I just got back last night, but I'm making this video right now to give you guys an update of what's coming, and that we're definitely going to be keeping this channel building. And keep it interesting, and keep it straight up, and keep it bullshit free. I have a feeling, as you all know, I've never ever told anybody to come here and like anything or to subscribe to anything, not once. And many people are coming here in droves. I have a feeling it's because there's no bullshit here. There's no bullshit tolerated. And again, I really got to stress to a lot of people out there that I'm certain of it, there's a lot of you that consider yourselves a member of the so-called Bigfoot community, or the Sasquatch community. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I am 100% not a member of any Sasquatch or Bigfoot community. I am a member on the planet. I'm an avid, basically full-time outdoors person. I'm a professional outdoors person, and that's what I am. And I think if I had to describe my position on this topic, I am just a voice for the people. I'm a voice for the good, hardworking, honest people who have had encounters with these things and have been discredited, and that's all I am. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I don't have much patience for the Bigfoot community that I have witnessed as of late on the internet. It's like I've told everybody, I don't know how many times, the mystery's been solved. All of you people who are doing these podcasts and video shows and cranking out coffee mugs and creating some kind of Sasquatch Bigfoot related brand to pay a few bucks in your pocket, and you're non-stop going in the same circles, you guys. You're going in the same circles. You're talking about tree twists, tree structures, footprints, howls in the night. And that's the exact same thing that John Green and Randy DeHinden and Grover Krantz and all those guys did for the past 20, 30, 40 years as well. Look where it got them. It didn't get them anywhere. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all 100% waste of time. Okay? And if it's this time everybody starts reacting and carrying themselves with common sense. Lose the creepy frickin' theme music, lose the spooky thumbnail photographs, and lose the bullshit. All you're doing is discrediting this topic, and you're doing a great job of it. Many of these people out there are doing a superb job of discrediting this topic, okay? If you go at this with common sense, there's tens of thousands of first-hand eyewitnesses around the globe. There's your evidence. You don't need any more evidence than that. Because I stated before, it's absolutely wrong. It's 100% wrong to discredit good, hardworking, honest people. They should be, and they are, the number one word and the number one form of evidence for these beings starting now, period. It's on this channel. That's just all there is to it. And like I said earlier, I'm probably repeating myself, but what the hell. But as I mentioned earlier, if you are going in that circle, chasing your tail of examining footprints, knocking on trees, going at nighttime with frickin' night vision video cameras on your mug and posting it on YouTube, you're being quite foolish, all right? You're wasting your time and you're being foolish. The mystery's been solved again. The footprints, the tree knocks, the screams in the night, the rocks getting tossed, the people getting chased, the things looking at windows. The mystery's solved, okay? Quit kidding yourself. The mystery's solved. It's 8 to 9 to 10 foot tall upright beings that are doing this. That's what's doing this. All right? So if all of you had the extra energy to expend on this topic, I strongly urge all of you, especially you guys that are in these Bigfoot Sasquatch communities, I strongly urge you to take that energy and start focusing on why the public isn't informed about these beings. That's the mystery. That's the only mystery left, is why the public's not being informed and why the information known about these beings, and there are people out there that know about them that know a lot more than you or I. You need to start digging and pushing and finding out why that information is not being shared. And then you will find what you are continually trying to find out. Then you're going to find it. And I've been talking to a couple names that are popular on this topic and learning more myself. I'm getting closer to understanding what these beings may be, where they possibly came from, and how they are. But I'm not going to be dictating that online. As of yet, I can firmly, with confidence, tell you these things aren't apes. Okay, they're not an ape. They're not an animal. They are a being, and they're intelligent, and they speak, and they think, and they outclass us 5,000%. And that's just the way it is. Anyways, I'm babbling. More on that topic later. Well, that's about it for now. Hasn't been any close near-death calls lately I can remember. I'm sure there's some coming. But that's the plan. So anyways, there's a lot more coming, and it's not going to stop coming. And it is interesting to see how popular this channel's getting. And it would be fun. It will be fun to hit 100,000 subscribers. I know it's coming, obviously. I mean, what is it, 68,000 people right now, and I never asked one of you guys to come here. I never asked one of you guys to come here once. And there's like, we're going to be pushing 70,000 people in here probably by the end of next week, easily. Maybe in about 4 days. And I think it's kind of cool. Because obviously, I got nothing to gain here from trying to get people to subscribe or trying to get them to come to my channel, you know. But I really do like the fact that I can share the no bullshit and be the voice for numerous discredited people, and I can do that. And it's getting more popular, and that's good. That's a real good thing for me and for those people. But now that it's getting up there, it'll be kind of fun to have 100,000 people on here without taking any bullshit sponsorship money or being affiliated with any neurotic, crazy celebrities. That's pretty cool. And I have a feeling, once again, it's because the internet's saturated with bullshit, crazy celebrity types that just want to be followed so bad. I know I'm a dick, but whatever. I'm not into those people, and they'll never be on this channel. And so there you go. So that's all and everything in a nutshell. I'm sure a few of the things I mentioned I've already mentioned in the past, but it's probably time to mention them again. And one other thing I'm going to do is, there's a handful of past hunt stories that were really popular and they're great. And they weren't done with stereo audio. We got the audio. We have the audio nailed now, and there's a lot of really good stories done in the past where the audio kind of sucked, and there was some background music and cut twos that were put in there. And unfortunately, the sound level of the music, background music on the editing program sounded perfect. But once it loaded on YouTube, the background sounds got way louder and it really screwed up the story. And we're also going to use some of these stories to go on the new podcast, which, yes, the podcast is coming on rapidly. It should be here, I'll bet you it's here within a month. And we're obviously going to use the audio from some of those hunt stories and slap them up on the podcast as well. So they got to be retold. So we're going to retell a handful of stories that need to be retold. And I'm sure there's tens of thousands of people out there that haven't seen them yet. And they'll appreciate that. And that's another thing we're going to be doing. And that's about it for now. So, now you know why nothing's come up the past couple of weeks, what this video today is about, and what to expect in the next week or two, and continuously. Once again, if you know someone or yourself you can use the added knowledge to help you in the outdoors, make sure you check out the app store page on iTunes and Google Play by Howtohunt Outdoors Limited. There's a lot of helpful stuff out there for everybody, for everyone. And what else? I mean, I'm getting messages all over the frickin' place. I can't answer them. You know what I'm going to do pretty quickly is I'm actually going to sit down and I'm going to start going through all of it's called DMs, direct messages, whatever that is, on Instagram. I'm getting hammered, pounded with them, and I just don't have time to answer them. So this is what I'm going to do, you guys. I am going to honestly put an effort in. Maybe it'll take half an hour a night or half an hour a couple of nights, and I'm going to go down that list of messages and I'm going to answer every single one of them. But take note, when I do answer your message and you drill me right back with another question, which puts us in a potential lengthy conversation when I don't have time for it, please try not to, unless it's really, 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 really important, because I really need to take that time to try to reply to as many people as I possibly can. And the amount of good things that are being said and messaged to me are overwhelming. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's thank you so much. You know, there's so many good things being said. I just absolutely appreciate it's not missed. And I can tell, you know, I made the funny cracks on some videos a while back about baiting douchebags. You know, the old douche bait, which is pretty funny, and it worked, obviously, because I'm trying to go through the video comments to get content to make some angry YouTube comment videos because they're funny as hell, and there's next to nothing. The douchebags have swiftly and rapidly dissolved. And once again, it's because I'm chucking shit right back in their face, which all of you should do at all times, and it works. If somebody throws shit in your face, you throw knuckles back. It works. Because this is basically a douche-free channel. Remember that was the goal a couple months ago? I was going to bait the douchebags, pull them out of the closet, and hit delete and get rid of them. And there's virtually none left. It's kind of funny. Okay, once again, I'm getting absolutely flooded with people sharing their stories. I've skimmed over a couple messages from people who have sent me photographs of footprints and stuff they've recently come across, and I've had a couple messages of people that are absolutely unnerved. They want to go hunting again, but they're having a tough time, and they're asking me how I do it and if I can help them to cross that line and get back out there. And I'll try to think up a way. I'll try to deliver to you guys on video shortly of what I do to put all that shit to rest and ignore it and go forward and enjoy my outdoors anyway. And I'll try to help you that way for sure. And if I know many of you out there have a story and you're watching this, you're probably not subscribed and you're just hanging out in the background watching, which is fine. But if you would like to share your story, get it off your shoulders and share it in a safe place and have me relay it to everybody, I'll do it. And you can email your story to tellmystory@howtohunt.com. You can put it there. And take note, you guys, if you're going to do that for me, for yourselves, make sure you bust it up into paragraphs, okay? Because I gotta wear these damn reading reader glasses now. I don't have time, and when I'm trying to read that email in one paragraph that long, try it. Try it yourself. Make sure you proofread it. Use your proper grammar. Try to do the best you can. But at least if the spelling's not a big thing for me, I can figure it out. But just please try to break it up into various paragraphs so it's easier to read, smoother. It makes a big difference, and it saves a pile of time for me. Because what I've found, what I had to do to make it work is, I've tried to read it out loud without a paragraph. It's impossible. You just lose yourself, and then you got to find where you were again, and it's a big cluster. So try to bust it up into paragraphs, and then it's easier to read, smoother, and it saves time, and there's more of a chance that your story is going to be read instead of cracking open a big email. Oh my God, look at this thing. Okay, I have to get back to that one day when I got time, and off it goes. And it's probably not going to get opened again because there's literally hundreds sitting in line to be read. So make sure you do that, all right? And I'll read it out loud for everybody. And I won't use your name, or I will if you want me to. It doesn't make a difference to me. Nobody really cares. But there's a lot of people out there that are having encounters with these beings, and they're being discredited, they're being confused, and they're being scared shitless, and it's changing their lives. And frankly, I've had enough of that horse shit, and we're going to turn it around. We're going to help as many people as we can. And that's exactly what this channel's for. It's just for helping people. And that's it. All right. Thanks for putting up with my rambling. Thanks for putting up with my BS. Thanks for putting up with my shit-eating attitude that I have sometimes, but it's harmless. It's actually in your guys' favor. and that's about it. And good luck out there, and be safe out there. And don't take shit from anybody, and fight back at all times. All right? There you go.